It's Cheryl here, and this video is about surfaces and easels. When you are a beginner painter or a beginner at anything, it is often overwhelming by the amount of choices that are available. And sometimes you just have to put the time in and have a go and try out these different surfaces so that you can make a call. However, I'm going to go through a few of them here today so you might be able to get a better idea of where you want to go to with this. Now, this is a small 5 inches by 7 inch board which has been gessoed, and I bought it exactly like that, already gessoed, and it's a hard board. But I suggest that this size is perhaps a little bit too small for a beginner, just because your dexterity hasn't really developed, and it's going to be really difficult to paint on such a small board. So in my classes, we work on an 8 inches by 10, and most of my students can complete a painting this size in about 3 hours. And 3 hours is a morning, it's an afternoon, and this also fits onto a table easel. So my students will sit at a small easel and with one of these small canvases in front of them to work on. As well as the stretch canvas, you can buy canvas that has been stretched over a board, and these are much more rigid. Sometimes you spread PVA glue out on the board, stretch the fabric, and in this case this is linen, and it's pulled to the back, and you can paint on this. Now, this 8 inches by 10 inches is a really good size, because if you would like to take photographs for a reference, you can use the 4:5 ratio, and it'll print out into an A4, which is really handy to put here, and then you can paint looking from one to another. So the 8 by 10 is a really good size. You can go up a little bit into one of these sort of sizes here, and this white will work really well for a pick out, whereas this colour will not work for a pick out just because it is a mid-tone. So canvases come in a huge variety of sizes, way up to the big ones that you actually see behind me. Now, another way that you can be very economical is to prepare your own boards. And this is MDF board, and I purchased these ready cut, just like this. And they're ready cut, and I think they were about $4 or something like that. And I think I bought them in a lot of 50. And I gesso them this way, that way, then this way again, like that. So this is a very economical way to buy them. You can also buy huge sheets of these, 8 foot by 10, different thicknesses from places like Bunnings, Mitre 10 here in Australia, timber yards, and sometimes they will actually cut them up, perhaps into smaller pieces, and then if you wish, you could recut them again. And you can often do this just by using a Stanley knife or by using a craft knife. And if you cut and you scar it down like that, often you can just crack them and it will crack into shape. So this is a really cheap, economical way to do that. To buy something which is ready-made, then you have these cradle boards. And this one here is by a company called Ampersand, and they make the most beautiful, gorgeous boards. It has masonite here with a gesso finish here, and the cradle board is around here, which means that it isn't going to warp. And this almost looks like some sort of a ply here, which is here like that. Now, these are really beautiful to work on. It's a really slippery surface, whereas canvas isn't as slippery. And when you finish them, they sit like that onto a table or onto a shelf, so you don't have to put any hanging pieces on the back. So this is a company called Ampersand here. And they produce a big variety of cradle boards and straight center boards, watercolor boards. Now this one here is another board that I bought from an art store, and it is also a cradle board here. And I bought that and it was raw, and I have primed this one myself, and it has the cradle board, or it has these pieces of wood around the side to stop it from bending like that. Now, the last thing that I want to talk to you about is paper. You can buy oil paper here. Now, it is made from cotton and it's 300 grams. Like that. The problem is with this surface that the oil paint is absorbed by it. So I see this as more of an advanced, of an advanced surface. So if you're just starting out, it is best to stick to something like one of these boards, a small canvas, or you can always make your own. But this is here for you later. You can also buy canvas in these books also that you can paint on and almost like turn the page, just like a book. The other thing that I have hanging around here is a bit of a larger canvas here. And I wanted to show you, this one is more expensive than the other one, but it's been beveled really beautifully inside of here. And this canvas is much thicker, it's a heavier weight, and it also has this incredible texture to it. A lot of people don't always like this texture. Some people do. So you're going to have to just work out what you like and what you don't like. Easels. So if you're starting out, I recommend that you stick to a table easel, which is this here is one of these, and it fits the 8 by 10 inch like that. And also the larger board, like that, full size. And this one here looks to be about 12 inches by about 14. Or you could even put it up here like this. So this easel has an elastic band, which you can put a piece of paper up underneath here and it will hold it, and a ledge here. Now, the back of it, you can change the slope by moving it back one, just like that. This one here is the easel that I prefer, and it is mainly because it has this piece that slides up and down, because I find that this is handy to be able to stick your reference up here and your board can be down here, and you can look from one to the other. So this is a great place to put a bit of masking tape and to stick your piece of paper here so that you can actually come up and down. It is similar to the last one in that you can adjust its slope on it, just like this. And when I started out, I would actually put my computer on it. So I would sit my computer on here, I would extend it, and I would actually move back from the table and rest my drawing board on the table, and I would look at my computer, which was sitting here on this easel. And I use these easels for most of my beginner classes, and they seem to work really fine. But I'm sure that you're going to work out your own easels, and before you move to something like a floor easel, and then maybe you'll even get another easel for working plein air. However, this is probably a good place to sort of start and to see what you like and what you don't like about easels. Bye for now.